Hi folks, it's Margaret from M.E.s Orchids, and before I start this video today I want to extend our hopes and prayers for all those of you who live in Florida who will be affected by Hurricane Irma. We've got John Benedict, we've got Anna Flores de Orchids, Todd of Todd's Tropicals, there's also Maria Young, there's Susan Short, there's Blanca Acosta, there's Libby's Little Garden, she's up in Tampa, and we've got Sue Lee. Those are just to name a few, but there are many more. Be safe. Your cousins across the pond are thinking of you. And I've focused on this big white phal here because she's had the 5 blooms out now since February, and this is that last little one that's just opened. I think the others will start to fade now. She's still got a bud that's forming, but I'm so pleased this one's managed to open. It's a terrible day here in Crewe. We've just got rain, so I hope the light won't affect it, this video too much. So if you'll bear with me. So I did come back up to the orchid room on Wednesday to finish watering, and I was going to do another video, part 2, but then I noticed on this one, this is this one here, it's a division. This is one that had scale, and when I came up on to do the second watering, this leaf here at the back was absolutely covered in those little tiny scale. So of course panic stations set in, and I had to go and get all the fluids to eradicate this. You can see there where she's had some damage. So unfortunately I didn't record my flushing all the pots. So I thought what I'd just do today is just take you around one or two of the orchids just as a general update. So as it's Saturday morning and I've got a little bit more time today, this is usually the day that I come up and just check the Phalaenopsis now, and just to see whether they want watering. Now as you can see, this one, she's got some nice green roots there, and all that bark is dry, and also the roots are drying. So she will get watered this weekend. Likewise with this one. So that's the only time I actually do water the Phalaenopsis orchids, and as you see, these are on the tilt, so they're quite happy. So this is the next phal I'm going to show you. Bear with me a minute while I just stand up, because she's one of the big ones, and if you remember, I've put this one in gravel, and you might think, well, am I going to water this today? Well, the answer's no. And how do I know whether or not it needs watering? It could be watered today, and I just test by feeling the pot. Now that doesn't give me a true indication, because of course this pot now is full of gravel. So I have to think, and I look at her, and I look at the weather outside, and it's like I say, it's absolutely thrown it down today. We've only got a temperature in the orchid room of 19, although it's 73% humidity, and I believe this one will probably last another day or two. So I will keep checking her, but can you see that root there? Now when I placed her in this pot, this root here was travelling down, and now it's travelling up, and it's adhered itself to that side of the pot, and it's flattened itself. So it seems very happy, and I'm really pleased that I did make the decision to move it. This one is my big Cattleya Pastoral Innocence, and I'm really keeping my eye on her because I've seen one or two little tiny scale on this one. You see down there, that's a new bud developing, so that's fine. Just let me sit down, folks. But if I bring the magnifying glass and try and keep still, you see there, over there, in the background, just tucked right inside there, little bits of white. And so I just have to keep my eye on that. I check her every day. Now, as you can see, I'll just turn around now. These roots are developing. They're going down into the media. You must tell me, folks, if I'm using this magnifying glass, if you don't like it, and then I'll stop using it. But sometimes it just gives you a better view. It's got a new eye developing there, and she's got another new eye developing on one of the other ones. But let me show you. Just on the side of the pot there. Probably that's better. She's sending a root out there. So you've got to be ever vigilant. Now this is in a big glazed terracotta pot, and see, that's the little bit that when she was in the windowsill she got burnt, but she loves it in this pot. And for my environment, I like the terracotta pots. They seem to dry out quicker, and I'm not left with medium that's wet for too long. Now this one we're looking at now, this is the little Lelia Labata, and she's in lava rock. She's had this new little pseudobulb growing there, and she's got this new growth developing there. This, if you remember, this one was the little pot that I got from the garden centre, and I'm not sure whether you can see. I don't want to, it looks as though it's blurring. See down in the pot where she's sending her roots. So, and for some reason, and I don't ask me why, but plants do love this lava rock. So I'm really chuffed with that one. This is the Lelia Autumnalis. If you remember, I just mounted this last week, and she's got that green root there, and just above the green root, I don't think you can possibly see it, just looks like a little tiny speck. But that's another new root trying to break out of that pseudobulb there. And so she just loves this mount. I do usually try and put all the orchids back in their own place. This one's the Cattleya intermedia by intermedia variety Aquina. There, that's the, we stand up and then you can see the light's not very good in this direction. That's better. And this one's got a new growth, and those roots are now going down into the orchiata bark. So some are in Orchids bark and some are in lava rock now. And but I'm not going to disturb any more at this moment in time because we've got the colder weather coming here and they need to now settle down. Now this is my Laelia Cattleya. You can see the name there, and look at her roots. Now this is an Orchids bark. She's again in a pot, a terracotta pot. But just if I take you up now, that's a new leaf, and she's probably got a flower spike developing there. But if I take you up on this leaf now, and you'll see the telltale signs of scale. You see those little white bits there? As I move up, you see there? There. Looks like German measles or chicken pox, and then it erupts there. But can you see how they up into that leaf joint up there? So this will have to go down now and be treated. This is why this is why I have a magnifying glass as well, because these little things, you would just think it's a speck of dust, but they're not, they're there, the little Turks. And I shall have to get downstairs. So this is what happened the other night when I come to water the Cattleyas, and I found that one on the other one. So just shows you, see. Now this is a little tiny one. Well, actually it's just a break off of the bigger one I've just shown you. And I repotted this up in February 17. But this is what I say, you've got to put time aside just to check your orchids quite regularly, because if you look under that leaf axil there, can you see, it just looks like a little bit of fluff. But no, this is infected as well. And if I take you over to this leaf here, which is the best leaf to show you, just bear with me a minute. There you go. There are the telltale signs. So she's got to go down now and be sprayed. Now at one time I would have absolutely been panic stricken, but I take it in my stride now, and I deal with it as soon as I can, and that is like immediately. This is the Cattleya violacea by Intermedia VAR Rosa, and she's still dehydrated. Some of the roots have got, they were burnt. I'll take you in now. I think the sun's against me now. She has sent new roots down. Now this one's not infected, so she can go back on the shelf. Now, as you know, I give them a good flush on Wednesday, and so I haven't fed them yet, so it's too late to feed them now, because I've only you're supposed to feed them you know, within a short period of time after you've flushed them, so it's too late now. You remember this Cattleya I'm showing you now? This is the one that was infected with Fusarium, and I cut the infected part off, and that's in another little tiny pot down there, because I didn't want to just completely throw her away. This one is doing fine. She's sending out new roots there, as you can see, and she's in Orchiata bark, and they're trying to search down for the to get into that medium. She's still got this black here on this sheath, and when my nails grow a little bit longer, I usually have quite short nails, I don't like them long, I shall try and just remove that that blackening sheath, just to make sure there's nothing lurking behind there. There's a little one here I've got mounted. This is the Cattleya BLC Malworth Orchid Glade, and she's an HLL/AOS. She's only a little tiny thing. I have had her in a pot, but then I decided to mount her, and let's just take you around. Because she's so tiny, I'm using the magnifying glass. Just move a little tiny bit more. Get out of the light, otherwise you won't see it with the magnifying glass. It's a bit awkward when you've got the light of the window behind you, and especially when the tablet decides not to focus. But there, the root's travelled along, and now it's come out here. So at last that she's showing signs of developing, so I'm chuffed to bits with that one. So if you remember, this is the other one. This is the Cattleya L. Attilio Santa Maria, and you can see the telltale signs of the scale here. And you remember this one, I had to give her the bleach treatment, so she sat on some bark in here in this basket, and you can see there she's got a new growth developing there. She's got that growth there, and never turn around, never can turn around. Oops, oops. Just let me just come out of the way a minute. I found it, that's the other new little growth there, and she's actually pushing up against the other pseudobulb there. But I've checked her over this morning and she's fine, and like I say, you've got to be vigilant. But once you've got rid of that infestation, it doesn't take them long to bounce back and like I say, give you a new growth. So this one we're looking at now is my LC Tropical Pointer, and I did struggle with this one. She had the bleach treatment. I thought I'd actually lost her, so she's got 3 crisp leaves there. If I turn around, nope, wrong way. She has got a little growth there. And she's got she's got the roots now going down into that medium. So hopefully, I mean, these leaves will fall off, but she seems to be onto the road for recovery. Now these are the 2 Cattleya Siegel's Gem, and when I decided to repot them, they split in half, so it must have been 2 planted in one plant pot. Now this one's, as you can see, it's in this little terracotta pot, and you know she's planted in lava rock. The leaves are still a little bit dehydrated, but she's coming along. And this one, I don't know whether you can see that. Let's just see if I can, the light. Whether you can see down there. She's got a new little root forming down there, and as you can see she's still a little bit dehydrated, but they're coming along now. Hopefully they will survive. I thought I'd just finish on this little piece here. This is the Cattleya intermedia. By intermedia var aquini. And to all intents and purposes, these were just 3 little twigs. But if you look, I set her down in this lava rock, and she's got 2 new growths, and she's got 2 little roots developing. So now all I do is just lie her on the top of the lava rock, and occasionally I might just give her a spray. But even this little piece of, for all intents and purposes, a twig with a few shriveled up canes, you see, she's got 2 new growths and she's sending out the roots. So that will survive now, and I should be able to have another little plant to look at. Anyhow, I do apologise, this video's gone on for a long time, and but I just wanted to take you round to just show you how some of the orchids are getting on, and to be vigilant and look and see whether or not you've got any infestation of anything. Just act quickly and you should be fine. And as I started the video, I'd like to finish the video by sending prayers and our thoughts to all those in Florida in the path of Hurricane Irma. Stay safe and take care. Bye now.